R2D2, are you smoking a cigarette? Don't tell me to relax. What do you mean? What's the chronic? No! R2D2! Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a different camera. Can you tell? Now I don't know where to look. My eyes want to focus here on myself, but I need to look at the camera. Oh, let's start over. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a whole new video. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about that time R2D2 got caught smoking a cigarette. But we're not just going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the time Star Wars didn't want you to drink and drive, the time C-3PO warned us about whooping cough, and more. So I guess you figured it out. We're going to talk about classic vintage Star Wars PSAs. What are PSAs? Public service announcements. Can't believe I got all that out. Did you notice that? No cut or anything. I see a PSA, no problem at all. Can't believe it. Now, before we get started with this video, as always, want to support this channel, head over to patreon.com. If you become a Patreon supporter, it makes these videos better. Your support really helps out. And a link to that's in the description below, or probably up here somewhere, a little square box somewhere you can click also. Or if you want to support the channel another way, head over to thatjunkman.com and buy a t-shirt like this one right here. You can buy it, I promise. Or that one. Hell, you can even buy that one. You can get them all. There's a lot more, so check them out. Anyway, let's talk about the PSAs. Now, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time because I like doing the obscure vintage stuff. Especially, I'm really fascinated, I guess is the right word. I really love that time period of Star Wars leading up to Star Wars, the original, A New Hope, or between Star Wars and Empire Strikes. Man, this is a huge collar. Look at this shirt. This is one damn ugly shirt. Sorry, I shouldn't be. Look how ugly this shirt is. I mean, look at Han Solo. Can you see him? Look at that. Look at that. Oof. Anyway, it's one of them free shirts. I think came in a Funko box or something. Anyway, let me. Okay. Now, what was I saying? Oh, I love that time period leading up to Star Wars and that time period right after A New Hope, leading into The Empire Strikes Back. Don't get me wrong, I love all the other time periods also, but there's something about that time period that I really do love. That, you know, when Star Wars was fresh and new, and people didn't know it was become the pop culture hit that it has become, and changed the entertainment, changed everything. You know all that. So I really wanted to talk about these PSA announcements for a long time, but I really couldn't think of a way to do a video on them because there's not really a lot of information. I love to sit here and give you information about the making of each one, behind the scenes photos maybe, and stuff like that, but there's really not much out there. And as far as I know, there's only 4 of them. So let's talk about the 4 of them. And let's start with probably one to actually remember as a kid. This one was great. I love this one. This is the PSA, again, a public service announcement. This was one about don't drink and drive. I remember seeing this one as a kid. This one was right around the Star Wars time. And what was so great about this is you got to see the creatures from the Cantina up close on your TV screen at home. Of course, it wasn't HD quality back then, but we didn't have VHS of the movie. We couldn't just go back and watch the Cantina scene. So you really could get good glimpses of aliens when they would come on. But you never knew when these PSAs would come on. You might not see it for a week, and then you might see it 6 times on one Saturday. You never knew. But this one here was kind of odd because it's a don't drink and drive. It takes place at the Cantina. You got the Cantina music playing in the background and everything, and they're saying, hey, when you and your buddies are hanging out at the Cantina, most nicely, don't drink and drive. I guess they should have said don't drink and fly. You know, kind of make it a little Star Wars thing. It's kind of odd because it's not really aimed for that kid. I know Star Wars is for kids. You think in this time period it would have been aimed more for kids, but they actually did one that was, I guess, aimed for adults or people at least drinking age. But this was 1977, so what was the legal drinking age in 1977? Probably 13, probably. They probably meant don't drink and ride your bicycle. Anyway, but let's look at the Cantina PSA, don't drink and drive.
When friends drink too much, even in galaxies far, far away, friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Remember, when you get on the whiskey, let somebody else drive. That's the PSA from Star Wars inside the Cantina. Now, some of those aliens I don't remember from the movie, but they might be in the background. Oh, sorry about that. They might be in the background. Really hard to tell, but it's really cool seeing that video and seeing those aliens. That was one good thing about the holiday special. You got to see a lot of the aliens from the creature cantina up close. And Richard Pryor also did a skit that took place in the cantina, and you got to see some aliens there. So that was pretty cool. Now let's go to one of the most famous PSAs. This is one probably most of you know about, and it's kind of funny because you get to see R2-D2 smoking a cigarette. That's right, R2-D2 smoking a cigarette. If you've never seen this video, would you have thought that you would one day have got to see R2-D2 hanging out in the back of some room smoking a cigarette? Now this one looks like it's from 1977 or 78. Something about the look of it, where they're at, the location. I thought for a long time it was 77, but apparently this was done around the time Return of the Jedi was released around 1983. One of these is 30 seconds, and the other one is 60 seconds. But one of them ends with 3PO begging us not to smoke, and another one, he's asking R2 if he really doesn't have a heart. I don't know, I guess it's a Tin-Man reference or something. Now, according to Anthony Daniels, they were going to re-release this PSA in 1997, but it was disqualified as a PSA, being it was seen as a promotion for the upcoming special editions.
R2? Where are you? R2? R2? R2, you're on fire! R2-D2, you found a cigarette. Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all. Because it's very dangerous. Smoking does dreadful things to your lungs and is very bad for your heart. Well, I know I don't have one, but humans do, and I think we should set a good example. Well done, R2. Oh, hello. You know smoking is bad for your health, and it isn't grown up at all. So please, don't smoke. R2, do you really think I don't have a heart?
You know, I never smoked as a kid growing up. My mother smoked, my sister smoked, but I never smoked. I wonder why. Maybe it's because I saw these PSA. If so, thank you Anthony Daniel, Kenny Baker, George Lucas, and whoever made the PSA. How does he even puff on it? He doesn't even have lips. I guess I could sit here and analyze this whole thing and it wouldn't make sense, so I better not do that. Now let's talk about another one that was released in April 1978. This one also stars C-3PO and your favorite R2-D2. But don't worry, R2's not smoking a joint or getting a face tattoo. This time they're giving us a warning about polio, the measles, and whooping cough. I don't even know what whooping cough is, and be honest with you, I don't even like saying the word because it sounds so goofy. In short, this one here was telling parents, I guess it wasn't aimed at the kids, to take your kid to the doctor, get some shots so they don't get whooping cough, or the measles, or polio, or the black plague, I guess. I don't know how many people out there take that medical advice from R2 and 3PO, but more people should. Let's take a look at that PSA commercial.
Come along, R2. Don't be so silly. You can't possibly be getting whooping cough. Droids don't get diseases like whooping cough, or measles, or polio. But children do. If a young child gets whooping cough, it can lead to pneumonia, brain damage, even death. All you need is a little rewiring. But children need to be fully immunized. And alas, so many are not. All right, R2, I'll ask them. Parents of Earth, are your children fully immunized against childhood diseases? Call your doctor or local health department and find out. Immunize your children, please. And may the force be with you.
Send for the Parent's Guide to Childhood Immunization. It's yours free. Write Immunization, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
Doesn't it make you want to round up some kids walking down the street, take them to a doctor and give them some shots? I know it makes me want to do that, but then again, who doesn't want to do that all the time? But we got one more PSA to talk about. This one here, I don't really remember this one at all. I don't really hear anybody ever refer to this one. And I could find no information about this one whatsoever. I'm guessing it's a PSA, but it's about saving electricity. It's about keeping your refrigerator clean so you're not wasting energy. That's right, you heard me. Keeping your refrigerator clean. Now this one here, Anthony Daniels wasn't a part of. When I heard Anthony Daniels came in, read the script for this PSA, pulled down his britches, and wiped his butt with the script, and then walked out saying nothing. Okay, I made that up. It's not true, but it'd be really cool if it did happen, wouldn't it? It would make him a legend. But Anthony Daniels is not in this one. I'm not sure why he's not there, but knowing Anthony Daniels, he might have thought it was beneath him, or he was worried he might have to see Kenny Baker. And you know, Anthony Daniels didn't want to be in the same room with Kenny Baker if he didn't have to. But let's look at this one. It's just R2 and some guy that I thought when I first saw the video was Paul Simon. And I thought it was very odd. I now heard of Simon and Garfunkel, but Simon and R2 seemed like a weird combination there. But the more I watched the video, I realized it wasn't Paul Simon. It was just some scheming lookalike of Paul Simon. Or maybe it was an evil twin. What's worse, an evil twin or a scheming lookalike? I'm not really sure. But here's R2-D2 and a fake Paul Simon telling you to clean the back of your refrigerator.
R2-D2 says, "Hello, I'm not an American citizen, but I'd like to help you with your energy situation. Take this refrigerator. It has condenser coils on the bottom or back. When they're dirty, your refrigerator uses more power to stay cold. Unplug it for a couple of minutes and vacuum the coils once a month. You'll save energy and money. We thank you, and the Earth thanks you. It doesn't take much energy to save energy."
I don't know about you, but I'll be honest. I've never pulled my refrigerator out and vacuumed the back of it. Never seen anyone do that, so I guess we're just wasting energy. Maybe instead of worrying about cow farts, that needs to be in the new green energy plan. Anyway, that's a look at 4 Star Wars PSAs. That's the only ones I think they made, or the only ones I can remember. I don't know why they didn't do an Ewok PSA. Seems perfect, right? There were a lot of classic PSAs in the 80s. I remember one was a drug dealer that turned into a snake. And what was that PSA where the dog would pack his own bag and run away? He'd put all his clothes and his bone and everything into a suitcase and run away because his owner, the little boy, was playing Nintendo or something. Oh, that would make me go play with my dog for at least 5 minutes, and then I'd forget about him and go back to playing Mario on my Nintendo. That was a sad one. As much as that drug dealing snake scared me, there was actually a PSA in like the 2000s that was a lot scarier than that. Watch this.
I'm the sous chef here. With any luck, I should be head chef by next year. I've got this amazing fiance, who I won't be marrying this weekend, because I'm about to be in a terrible accident. But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over there, and they should never put the deep fryer so close.
Well, that's about it. That's about all I have to say about these PSAs. I hope if you haven't seen them, this brought you some enjoyment. And if you have seen them, I hope it still brought you some enjoyment. Please thumb up this video so I know you like my content. And yes, before you say it in the comments, I'm using a different camera. I'm using my phone because I was lazy and forgot to charge up my camera. And for some reason, it doesn't record while you're charging it. Makes no sense at all. Why can't I charge it and record at the same time? Anyway, it's time for me to get out of here. What about you, Fred? Take us out of here.
Thank you, sir, for that.
Hey, little dude, send your mama and daddy out of the room. I gotta get you up on this. You know who I am. Snake, dealing in weed, coke, crack, your choice. Take one hit and you'll do anything to cop more. Steal from your mama, lie, cheat on your homeboys. But hey, that's the price you pay when you deal with dudes like me. Now, some folks will tell you that I'm dealing in poison. But hey, do I look like the kind of guy that would do that to a kid like you? Yes!
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.